Hi everyone. Well, I'm just on my way home now, and I've just pulled over to record this video because I thought I'd give a summation of what just happened in the council this afternoon. So there were two things of key importance for us from the environmental point of view. One was the first of all, how about the rainbow lorikeets? Gotta love it. They're not allowed cars, but wait for that to go. Yeah, I'm just on my way home. I was in the council for this afternoon. The proposed developments in Barracks Rd or Reese Road, the next stages that they're looking at clearing, 199 mature gum trees. That was debated by the council today, and I was invited to give a speech about why it shouldn't go ahead, and then the developers gave a speech about why it should go ahead. And look, all those beautiful trees, you've probably seen the videos that I've done there, but sadly that's going ahead. All those trees are going to get knocked over. And the consensus from the council, or it's not consensus, there was an overwhelming feeling there that this is wrong, but there's no legal means to stop it. And it was incredible. A couple of councillors were crying, or struggling not to cry. A number of them wouldn't vote at all because they just opposed it. So look, whether or not it's legally right or literally right that there's no way to legally stop that, I've got a few bones of contention with some of those. But anyway, with some things around that issue, but whether or not it does contravene the EPBC Act, the proponents said they've had it looked at and they don't think it does. But my interpretation of things that are actions that are likely to affect a listed species, I'm sure that knocking that over will affect koalas there. But anyway, as it was at the time, the majority view of the council was that there was no legal way they could stop this, but the vibe was this is just not good, basically. And so that happened. And then there was the TLPI, the Temporary Local Planning Instrument, which we tried to get that up 2 years ago. This would allow us to bring in interim tree protection rules. They had been debating that before this special meeting about the clearing out at Highfields, and they couldn't reach a decision at that stage, so we then had that meeting about what's going on at Highfields, and then they returned to this TLPI. And I'm pleased to say that passed 6-4. Some people who weren't in favour of it were, I just think, overly cautious or overly risk averse. The motion was to develop a TLPI, and there's lots of checks and balances in that. It's a plan that gets developed, it goes to the minister, then it goes back to the council to sign off on. And you can't get to the end result and decide whether or not you like it just straight off the bat. You've got to go through the process and develop it. So that was actually passed. So now the Toowoomba Regional Council is committed to developing a TLPI to bring in tree protection laws. I hope you can hear me over this, over the traffic here. I just had to stop here so I can upload this on my way home. But anyway, so we are on that path now, and that's fantastic. What's the alternative? We just throw up our hands and say there's no other option and all these big trees have to come down. Clearly that is unsustainable and unwanted. And, end of the day, apart from the wonder of having these things, we rely on them to live, as do a whole lot of other animals. And so there is a better way, and today the council committed to finding that, but they've also allowed the, that clearing to go ahead that has been proposed by Clive Berghofer Land Sales. So anyway, that's what happened today. So I think the direction of the tide's turning, but all those big trees are going to come down. And look, something the Mayor Jeff McDonald said at the end, which I agree with, and I think it was very good. He said we have more in common than we have in difference, and there is a lot more common ground between the environmental side and the developers than people realise. And so I'm going to be heartbroken seeing that come down, as I'm sure, seeing those trees come down, as I'm sure everyone will. But let's not lose sight of the main goal, and the main goal is to have a harmonious society that is environmentally friendly. And even though it makes my blood boil that those trees are going to come down, we've got to look at the bigger picture and where we're steering this community. So that's where it's at. A very mixed day, very intense day for the councillors. So, because they had other things they were voting on too, which I don't know what they were, but apparently they were, you know, equally as intense from what I've heard. So, anyway, there's an update. Hope you can hear this over all the noise. Okay, guys, see ya.